I didn't see that coming.
I did. You know you can trade on that.
What do you mean by
Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA? There was a passage of legislation that its original purpose was
They're that good.
No, it's like it's the look and the taste in response to a castration of the deep state. So therapeutic. Wait, let me grab another one.
All right, so I'm gonna go right to the serious topic, Ivan, because what you and I were just talking about is actually a scary conversation, right? We're talking about how we believe that they're going to steal it.
Wait, the fastest way to anger me is for a grown ass man like you to use terms like scared, fear, apprehensive.
I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm.
Go nuts, berserk. You use language like that, and I'm gonna grow some fear. I will show you what fear looks like, so that you know not to even exhibit signs of weakness.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm not. Well, the scary part about it, I'm not talking about personal fear. I'm talking about. I'm hearing that 100% this election's going to be stolen, and the reason why that's scary is because I think. I think it leads to bad things. One thing. Well, one second. I think it leads to bad things. But you tell me. You tell me what you think.
Are they going to steal it? Is the question?
Yes. First question. Yes.
Do I breathe?
Do you believe they're going to steal this election on November 6th?
Do I breathe?
Yes, you do.
There's your answer.
So they're gonna steal it.
Oh, I'm going to answer it this way. Do I breathe, bro?
All right. So now that we,
That's a resounding yes.
all right. So now
You
that
want me to violently agree with me? With you?
we don't have to get violent, but
So let me get some iron in me, raisins, before I bow up on you.
I thought we're homies.
We
No,
were until you exhibited micro weaknesses.
All right, so no, but I look at you as a guide to now. I want to know, what do we do? What happens next once they steal it? These deep state bastards. What happens? What is the next few steps, Ivan? Guide us.
Let's look at the constitutional calendar. What's the first date that comes to mind?
After November 5th?
November 5th is the first constitutional calendar date. So if they're going to use now early voting to send in fraudulent mail-in ballots, to go ahead and have dirty voter rolls, to go ahead and secure drop boxes so that there's maximum amounts of fraud, right? To use the mules and everything else, to do digital manipulation, software manipulation, hardware manipulation, foreign interference, right?
Which, by the way, sorry to interrupt you. I mean, we're already getting a lot of reports. We had Corinne in Florida talking about how they're basically registering illegals. We're getting all these reports. It's very clear that they are registering a lot of illegals. It's very clear that they're trying to use that as a way. Now, what happens when that goes down?
Well, you're interrupting me. I'm setting the framework here. You know me. I like to use as few words as possible in my responses, each one about an hour long. But having said that, let me kind of tone it down to maybe a 30-second soundbite. The only way to stop and go around all of the levels of fraud that I just laid out is to have direct legislative vote for the electors for president and vice president. What does that mean? I want everyone to pause for a second and memorize this. Article 2, Section 1, Clause 2. 212. What is this?
New York City, Eric.
Yeah, so that's the provision in the U.S. Constitution that leaves the authority to allocate the state's electors for president and vice president with the state legislature. So, if you're a legislative body that consists of majority Republicans both in the state House and the state Senate, don't you want to stop all the illegal levels of fraud?
I mean, I would assume so. I would assume so, but that's not what they've done in the past. So I'm a little skeptical.
So then this is where Elon Musk comes into play, and Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson, all the biggest influencers that are advocating for free speech and a free, fair, and transparent election. They need to come to the conclusion that they are going to steal it. And the only way to stop them from stealing it, amongst all the layers that I just laid out, is to compel their followers to compel the state legislatures in the states that are at least Republican majority state legislatures to hold a vote on November 5th by that legislative body to allocate the electors. Guess what happens if everyone votes by political party in those states? That's 274 electoral votes in the bag, meaning a guaranteed election of the Republican nominee. Guaranteed with 274 electors.
You said November 5th are electors. Was that the right date?
November 5th. That's when the election is, right?
But isn't the electors assigned in January officially, like they did it on January 6th last time?
Electors are assigned by the states on November 5th. They're allocated, and the Electoral Count Act goes through the process of when they should be transmitted. Remember, voting for president and vice president is a conversation between state legislatures and the collective and the federal United States Congress. So the first part is the state legislatures. 274 states allocate their electors. Imagine it's live streamed on X, on Rumble, on C-SPAN, on Truth Social. And then you see how people vote by individual because when we run it this way. And then on January 6th, we do the same thing during the certification process. There's no room for objection because it's already been done legally, fully transparent, live stream. Okay? In the states that have Democrats, big tech and big media wants to go after Elon Musk for saying, oh, this is fake news. Then
Best and worst dinner for your waistline. Sweet potatoes. Try to find the purple sweet potato. They're the highest level of polyphenol.
he gets to go ahead and share their direct message.
On that tip, Zuckerberg changes dialogue, right? Is that part of it where, you know how you're talking about people actually coming clean? Is that him trying to be like, dude, I know what's coming down the pipeline or what?
No, that's his way to basically going into the November election to say, hey, guys that are on Facebook and they're going over to X and Rumble, you don't need to worry anymore. You shouldn't go on those platforms and see free speech. I want you to stay within my censorship regime.
It's been busting his ass for a real long time. Wow, that is awesome. So Joe Rogan, show the camera.
Why isn't anyone talking about this coffee hack if you're still tired after you have a cup of coffee in the morning?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not bragging or anything. It's just that I'm honored to some level that he's following me. But at the same time, like one side of me says it's long overdue. It's not that you need to follow. Joe doesn't need to follow me. But if he wants to understand the deep state by name, date, place, and transgression, he has to go through this learning process of understanding what Mike Benz has put out. And what that means is when you have, it's 29. Let me say this. It's going to get so much more spicy after November 5th.